Welcome to Ylia's Food Utopia. Today we're going to cook minestrone soup. Now, 12 years ago I got diagnosed with IBS, so I kind of had to change things a little bit. So basically I've kind of become a MacGyver of food. So here you have all the ingredients. This is my recipe. I got this recipe off of Food Network. This is Giada De Laurentiis' recipe. It's really good, but I can't eat pretty much half of the stuff in there. So you can compare the recipes. Mine's is online and so is hers. Today, what we're going to do is she uses pancetta. I use Canadian bacon. So this is already chopped up. This is one whole package. That's 10 slices of Canadian bacon. So what we're going to do now is we're going to heat this pot up. Get it a little bit hot, you know. I like the sizzle when you put the food in there. It's kind of what got me started on cooking. I just like that sizzle. Alright, so we have carrots, 3 carrots, and we have 3 celery stalks. You can put more if you want. That's fine if you don't. Now, this is for 4 to 6 people. So it's kind of why I put 3 instead of 2. So we've got the Canadian bacon here. I'm going to toss these bad boys in there. It's got a little sizzle. I'm going to put the rest in there. And then we're going to add some olive oil. So I'm going to put these guys in there. Cook it for about 5 minutes till the Canadian bacon gets brown, because that's really what you want. I'm going to take some olive oil right here. Just add a couple of tablespoons or maybe more. That's preference. And you're just going to kind of stir it around a little bit. There we go. Look at that. Oh, I wish you could smell this. This is really good. Alright. So while that's cooking, make sure that it's not too high, not too low. There we go. While that's cooking, we're going to devein the collard greens. This is something else that I chose. She uses something else, which I think is Swiss chard. But what we're going to do is they're really big, so you want to devein them. And to do that, you're just going to cut in the center like this. There we go. Well, it's not perfect, but it's okay. Alright, so these are still too big, so you want to cut them in thirds. That's fine. I have a whole bowl right here ready to go. I'm going to do some more just so you can see. And the reason I do this is because this vein is really tough. And you don't want people eating that because they will be chewing like cows. It's just really, it's too tough. And cut this in thirds. There we go. I'll do one more. But you just take the knife down the middle. Cut it as close to the white part as possible. If you can't, that's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is not a contest, so it's all good. There we go. Look at that. Nice. And these are really good for you. So you give it a different flavor to the soup. Just tear it. You can even tear them. You don't have to cut them necessarily. You can cut them in fourths. I mean, it's really all up to you how you want to cut them. These are fine because the thing is they're going to wilt kind of like spinach does. So this is good to go. We're going to check on this. It needs to brown a little bit. So once this browns, we'll be back and we'll put the rest together. So we're back and that's pretty much ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the potatoes. And then we're going to add the collard greens a little bit at a time. Okay. Now this is a lot. I know it looks like a ginormous amount, but don't worry about it. It's all going to start wilting down. So just kind of, and don't worry about that popping noise. Nothing's going to come get you or anything. It's just the bacon. And everything's going to start to wilt down a little bit. You only want this to cook for about 2 minutes before you start adding the broth. So, look at that. Nice. We're going to lower it a little though. I'm going to add the rest of these in. Actually, you know what? We're going to leave that. Usually you want a cup or more. Maybe 2 cups of collard greens. I put a lot more because we kind of really like it. But you don't need to. So you can add these later, or you can have it with a salad or whatever. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add the turkey broth. And we have 2 to 3 cans, or 4. I find that 3 cans is best. We're just going to add these in there. And since I have IBS, I choose the turkey broth because the beef broth has onions in it, and I can't eat that. And this is really good. It's a great substitute. So I really wouldn't worry about flavor because this is just, it's nice and rich, and you don't have to worry about sacrificing any flavor. So we're going to put 3 cans in here, and we're going to kind of let that start to simmer a little bit. We're also going to add 3 cans of cannellini beans. That's not a lot because this is a lot of soup. Because remember, it's 4 to 6 servings. So we've got those 3 cans in there. Get that one out there. Perfect. So we've got another can going on here. Just put that all in there. We're going to add some cheese in there, which Dada actually uses the rind of the Parmesan cheese, and they don't really sell that here. So you improvise. So this has been simmering for a little bit. What we need to add is the tomato, and I got kind of splashed, so I forgot my apron. What do you want? This is my first show. All right, so we're going to put this in here. This is the tomatoes, a 14-ounce can of tomatoes. And if you have any problems with seeds, with some people that have diverticulitis, take the seeds out. It's not a big deal. So we're going to put thyme, a couple of sprigs, maybe 3, maybe 4. 3 to 4 is all you want though. Anything more than that, and it's going to be a little too overpowering, but it tastes amazing. So you can put this in, and the way you want to do it is you just kind of want to take it like this and just pull down. And these just come right off. You can also just throw this in there, but you have to fish it out later. Or you can just pull on them, like I'm doing right now. So, put that in there. They don't come off, just take another one. That's all good. So you're just gonna put that in there. Now, we want some tarragon. Now, I couldn't find fresh tarragon. That's fine. No panic, don't panic. Just add some dried tarragon. And this palm is about a tablespoon. So you want 2 tablespoons of that. Add that in there. Just mix this all together. And this is going to simmer for about 10 minutes. So now we're going to go to the blender because we need to blend those beans. And the reason you want to do that is it's going to add a nice creaminess to the soup. And I add a whole can because I found just half a can wasn't enough for me. Half a can is good for you, that's great. But me, whole can. Because remember, it's for a lot of people. Just going to put that in there. And we're going to add 1 can turkey broth. Start off with half the can. And then we're just going to blend this. That looks good. Can't wait to eat it. And we're going to take this off. There we go. That looks pretty good. We're going to add the rest. So we're back. So let me just tell you something. Right here I put half a cup of the turkey broth and 1 can of cannellini beans. If you want it creamy, that's fine. Get a spoon. Just kind of see how creamy it is. It's pretty creamy. So I can add the rest of the can, or just omit it. Just leave it with half a can. In this case, you know what? It looks pretty good. So I'm going to leave it as is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this out. We're going to pour it in. This is starting to boil. Lower the heat. Just going to add this in there. And don't worry, you're going to see it. It looks really good. Alright, so once you put that in there, you want your cheese. So you want 2 cups of fontina cheese. If that's a little too much, 1 cup. If you cannot eat cheese, then you can omit the cheese. So we're just going to put that in there, and it's going to melt. And we're just going to let this sit here on medium-low for 15 minutes, and then we're going to eat. Okay, we're back. So this bad boy is done. All right, so now it's pretty hot, but it's time to taste. And as you can see here, you've got your tomatoes, you've got your collard greens, you've got your celery, your carrots, your potatoes, cannellini beans, and of course the cheese has melted in the background right there. Look at that bad boy. All right, so let's taste it as much as we can here. Wow, it's hot. Really, really good. Wow. Oh my God. You have the creaminess of the cannellini beans. You have the Canadian bacon. You've got the cheese in the background. It's nice. It's buttery. It's just, the whole soup is outstanding. I mean, really, you know, you compared both recipes. You know, you have pancetta. I put Canadian bacon. Nice substitution. She put the Swiss chard. I got the collard greens. Great substitution. They use the Italian fontina cheese. Like I said, it's optional, but it really tastes good. The whole meal is unbelievable. You've got the tarragon, you've got the thyme, and if you want to add a tad bit of salt, that's all up to you. It actually tastes fine because Canadian bacon is pretty salty. So you've got a whole meal right here, and since it's cold outside, why not enjoy a nice soup? Minestrone soup from Ylia's Food Utopia. Enjoy!